Hey guys, welcome to our very first episode of WoW Weekly with Myst. And this is a new series that I've decided to start on the channel. Basically, how it's going to go is the first half of the episode is me going over my accomplishments for the week and, anything else that I feel is worth mentioning that I might have gotten or, did throughout the week. And then the second half will be discussing what the next week's mythics are going to be. Well, not mythics, but affixes. And then, any in-game events that are happening or anything in the guild. So, yeah, it's basically just an informational type video. We'll start with what I've done this week. So this week was the first week of the rest of the 8.1 patch. The new raid came out on Tuesday. So it was actually not a bad week. Through all of season 1, I really struggled gear-wise. I did so much in the game. And I would see people who did way less than me have better gear. So it really was a struggle. And assuming, my luck from this week keeps up, I think WoW might be paying me back now. Because I did get a really awesome upgrade this week. And it was very unexpected. So basically this week, for accomplishments, raid, there really was no accomplishments. I went in and we're still recruiting our guild raid team. So unfortunately, I'm having to go in with randoms, and that's, it never is really a great thing. But, when you want to progress and that's really all you got, you take what you can get, I guess, right? So went in, it was a fail. We didn't even get the first boss down. So that is one goal that I have for next week, is that we get back in the raid and knock out at least one boss. Preferably a few, but get in there and at least get one boss down. So that was the fail for the week. Mount runs were a fail too. I do mount runs every Tuesday, and we got absolutely nothing. And so that kind of sucked. Oh, someone wants to heal me. Mythic Dungeons, not too bad, at least we got one done. I'll bring up the screen. So I did the 2 Waycrest. Actually, both these I did this week. So I got a 2 Waycrest Manor and a 2 Underrot complete. And they feel like a 6 of last season. So a 2 is actually a little rough. And off of those runs, I looted a 375 and a 380 item. So that should tell you that they are a little more rough, being that you're looting that kind of gear from them. They definitely do feel a little tougher. So anyway, that will ensure us some gear. So that makes it so that we're getting at least a 380, which is good enough for me for week 1. We'll do higher next week, but being that this week was pretty busy. So, because there was time walking as well. So I had a few things I was doing. The new raid, did a couple of these mythics, and then the time walking and the mount runs and the transmog run. So it's been a bit of a busy week. So I'm okay with that, with where the Mythics is standing for this week, and we'll do better next week. So yeah, that's that. And then this week the affixes were fortified, bursting, quaking, and reaping. Yeah, so I didn't have most of these because all I did was the +2. So all we had on our key was the fortified. So next week we'll probably do a key that has these two. I really don't expect to get the third affix applied to one of my keys till at least a week 3 or week 4. So that's that. And to me, that was, pretty good for, first week. At least we got in and got something. We got our key going. In my opinion, the most important thing with Mythic Dungeons is that you keep doing at least one per week so that you never lose your key. So that's the most important. As far as loot, so I started the week with 374 as an item level. So to be 380 is pretty good. I bumped up 6 item levels this week. So our upgrades was, this back piece. I got that out of the Darkshore Warfront. It replaced a 375. So that was a pretty good piece. And that's actually the baseline item level now in Darkshore. So if it's open, when you're watching this video, definitely go in and check it out. And then the other piece that we got was this ring I got out of the Underwrought +2 that I did this week. So that was a nice find. Can't complain there. And then the weapon, and actually the ring that was on here before was a 370. And the weapon, this was a big upgrade. This weapon bumped me 2 points up in my score. So I had a 355, which I have had for a long time. The last time I upgraded my weapon was like at least 2 months ago. It was close to launch day. Like I had the 355 pretty early into the expansion. And yeah, I just could not replace it for the life of me. And then I logged on one day during this past week and I saw a world quest, like an emissary, for a weapon cache for 380. And yeah, I hopped on that immediately. And then we're saving the best for last year. So those are all great upgrades. And then we went to do time walking, and when I handed in for time walking, we got this, the 420 waist, which is awesome. I was so happy to get that, so that is so cool. I do wonder how much 420 is going to be a running joke for this season. And that was also a pretty big upgrade. I was wearing a 375 belt before that. So yeah, those are basically my accomplishments for the week. As far as time walking badges, I have all the purchased mounts. I'm just still trying to loot the rare one that drops off the kills when you're doing the time walking. But yeah, all the purchased ones are done. So what I've been doing is I've been basically hoarding my badges. I think we're sitting at, let's see, we're sitting at 1560 for badges, and yeah, We're just hoarding them because when 8.1.5 comes out, which should be sometime around March or April, yeah, the new mount, well, there'll be a new time walking, which will be for Draenor. And there's, you know, a couple of new mounts in there, and they're going to be 5,000 a piece. So yeah, that concludes what we've accomplished this week. And yeah, so I guess before we go over the news half of this video, what we'll do is we will set up goals. So our goals for this coming up week will be at least a +3 mythic dungeon. The battle for Dazaralor, at least one boss killed. And I guess let's try to up our gear level. So we're 380 right now, so let's aim for 1 item level a week, because it's tough to get an item level. It really is. So yeah, that's what we'll do. I'm actually really close to being 81 though. Let's see. Yeah, like it's 0.9. So let's aim for 382. So we'll aim for a 382 item level, a +3 mythic dungeon, and at least 1 boss in the new raid killed. And on a side note, I will have videos of the mythic dungeons done up. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put them together with this video. So this video will post, and then right after will be another video that is the mythic dungeon. I don't usually post 2 videos in one day, but I feel like because they fall before the reset that they should be posted before Tuesday. And yeah, I generally have all the other days covered for content, right? So yeah, I think we're gonna do that. Post the 2 together. So every time you watch one of these videos, if you want to see the mythic dungeon video, you can just look at the page. It'll be posted. Usually when I post things on the same day, I do like a half-hour gap between them. So if you're watching this video like the minute it posts, give it half hour before the next one's up for the Mondays only. Okay, so for news, let's start with the mythic dungeons. So next week we will have Tyrannical, Raging, or Volcanic. That one's a bitch. A lot of them are, but, that one, depending on the dungeon, yeah, it's a dangerous one to have. And then Raging, yeah, they're all tough, but Raging really isn't too bad out of a lot of them. Let's check in-game stuff. Okay, so we have Lunar Festival starting on Monday. I believe there is achievements for that. I have everything tabbed to incomplete because that's all I really cared to track. Okay, so yeah, these are the achievements. This was really easy. I remember doing these achievements and look at the days on there. I did a bunch on the 24th. Granted, this is back in 2009, but whatever. We're just paying attention to the day here. So on the 24th, I knocked out those. And then on the 25th, 26th, 27th, So yeah, and the only reason this was knocked out like 3 years later is because of Cataclysm. You know, Cataclysm didn't exist in 2009, right? So that's the only reason that's, you know, I have such a year gap. So yeah, you could easily knock these off, and I almost guarantee you I didn't even try to like knock these out fast. Because they're pretty easy achievements. Like, yeah, they're not tough at all. So you could definitely knock that all out in, you know, 1 or 2 nights. So that would be a good one to go after. And that lasts for quite a while. When does that one end? So that will be... Is that the end? Yeah, February 11th. So you have from January 28th to February 11th for Lunar Festival. And that is a lot of time for those achievements, so you'll be good. Okay, so we have Lunar Festival that's active right now. On Tuesday, Mythic difficulty for Battle of Dazar'alor. And then the weekly will be the Battlegrounds, which is to complete 4 battlegrounds, and it's conquest and honor you get for the reward. There's the current tour tavern crawl, which is on the last day of the month, which is Thursday. And then on Sunday, Dark Moon Fair will happen. Okay. So that covers the next week's in-game events. Okay, so also, as far as news goes, this is a speculated mount that a lot of people are thinking will hit the stores. No idea when. This is just speculation. However, it's not just some random rumor out of nowhere. Basically, this picture ended up accidentally on the Chinese site as a store mount that you could purchase, and then it was quickly removed. So it was up there and then yanked. So speculation is that they accidentally put it up there too early and then tried removing it before people noticed, right? So yeah, now for my next comment. This is coming straight from myself. So this is not a confirmed date or anything, but from seeing the picture and knowing it was on the Chinese site and then they yanked it and all that, I have speculated that, like, I think that would make the perfect Chinese New Year mount. And so my speculation is that we're going to see this mount on the store in like a week. I could very much be wrong on that, and do not, like, take what I'm saying right now with a grain of salt, because, like, there's no confirmed date. But I happen to know that the Chinese New Year is on February 5th, and this would make an actual good Chinese New Year mount. So, yeah, I believe it will be on the store somewhere around that date frame. So somewhere around February 5th. However, that is pretty early. I fully believe that, yes, this is going to be a store mount, but the date's unconfirmed. But I would like to see, so I'm posting my prediction right now, and we'll see how close I am. But that is what I think. I think February 5th, or at least, like, you know, a few days prior or a few days later. I think that's what it's going to be. There's only one other thing that I have for you guys. They've had a little time to kind of test how things have been running in the Mythic Dungeons, and a few classes need some changes. There's more than a few that need changes, but a few are actually getting changes. So on Tuesday, the warrior is going to have like 4 of their abilities is going to have increased damage by 8%. Those abilities, and this is for the arms warrior, those abilities will be Mortal Strike, Execute, Slam, and Rend. So that'll be damage increased by 8%. The druid, the Resto druid, will have the Efflorescence. It's a healing ability. That is going to be increased by 25%. And then the effective mastery Harmony is going to be reduced by 6. And then the Unholy Death Knight is going to have a pretty big boost, actually. The Death Coil is going to have a 20% increase in damage. So, which is good. I have, I don't typically go the Unholy route. My Death Knight is like pretty much always a tank. So I always go Blood. But I have heard that the Death Coil for the Unholy has been pretty shitty this expansion so far. I hear a lot of people saying that it's weak, like really weak. So I'm sure a lot of Death Knights are happy to hear of that change. And that's all the news I got for you guys this week. So I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I hope you have fun next week doing your raid and your Mythic Plus dungeons. I'm just going to shout it out since, you know, this is my channel and all. But we're recruiting for the raids. And we're also looking for a tank and a healer for our Mythic group. So if you are looking for a committed group, a group you know that is going to do stuff weekly with you, just leave a comment or, you know, message me somehow, and we'll see what we can do. Item level requirement will be 375, and that'll put you at par with our group because our group ranges from 375 to 380 item level right now. So yeah, and that's all I got for you guys. So have a great week, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.